is an interesting concept. Now, this film has been out since Boxing Day 2024 in Australia. It's now the 6th of January 2025. Finally got around to seeing it. But I have kind of like a little issue with this film. It's one, not the way that I imagined it. Now, my brother has seen it, and he said it's about a stripper. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm pro-sex, like pro-sex workers, I'm no problem. And he's like, there's a lot of sex. And I'm like, okay, and like you're a teenage boy, that's gonna be the first thing on your mind. But when I watched it, one, it's kind of is what he said it was about. Two, it's kind of, the way that I view it is, look, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen a lot of, I guess, non-stereotypical Russian ways. I have seen Russians on TV, whether they're stereotyped or not, I don't know. But I feel like that there's a generational gap with Russians. Again, it's the way that I've seen things. Where, for me, the way that I imagine a Russian man is that he's powerful. If you don't do what I say, you'll get more than just a backhand. You need to follow my rules because I am your king. In a sense, you need to be afraid of Russian men. That's my theory. But watching Ivan, I'm like, oh, you're just a spoiled brat with daddy's money. Like, I have no reason to care about you. Anora herself, she goes by Annie, and I'm like, okay, you're a stripper. Great. You're a stripper who's trying to make ends meet. Great. But what is there about you? You fell in love with a Russian who wants a green card marriage to get away from his parents, who then ends up screwing you over. Okay. Like, to me, it definitely wasn't the movie that I was expecting. Like, I don't really know what I was expecting. Like, I don't think I saw the trailer. I saw a lot of reviews up on social media, which I was like, oh, you know, this looks cool. I'm going to rave about it like everybody else is. But I'm kind of on the fence with Anora. I think for me, it feels very spring break, which is something that's American rather than Australian. It feels very party scene. It feels very like, I'm rich, I do what I want. It feels like I've got daddy's money. It feels like we're just gonna fuck around and find out later sort of deal. And I don't know, maybe it's like an age difference. Like, I'm 30 years old. I'm not into this scene. I'm too old for this scene. These characters say they're anywhere between 21 and 25. That makes sense because a lot of 20-year-olds have this kind of lifestyle. But like, to me, I was just like, I don't care. Then when it flipped the narrative of Anora being, I guess, in a sense, held hostage by the Russian bodyguards, I'm like, okay, this is kind of more interesting. But again, the total focus wasn't really what I expected it to be. I think storyline-wise, it's probably not the strongest. It could have been a little better. But in a sense, it was more about the narrative of this woman and this young boy who clearly acted like a teenager rather than a 21-year-old, which, again, 21-year-olds is how they are, I guess. And this woman who kind of wanted to find safety and solace in a newfound life, this woman who wanted to find this lifestyle that she wished she had. I mean, I don't know the first thing about a stripper life, I'm going to be honest. But they're working a job, they're trying to make ends meet. Would it be their go-to job? Up to every individual. But you could tell that Anora wanted to have more in life just by looking at her and the way she interacted with people. And she kind of got scammed in a sense. So you're kind of watching that play out. I wouldn't call it a love story. I would call it more of a woman gets scorned and there's nothing she can do about it. I would call it that Russians have a generational gap. They're not big scary bad guys like we all think they are. They are spoiled brats who like to have a pissing contest because they've got money. Or at least that's my takeaway from this movie. But like, Anora, finally watched it.